Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lucy, and today I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to attempt to make my own Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas dress. Now, it's already sort of granny square-esque, and basically I'm going to try to make individual panels, assemble them with some black thread, and hope for the best. Now, I just only decided to make a video after I started, so this is what I'm starting with right here. Basically, it's starting off like a tank top. I'm doing increases to create the V-neck shape as well as underneath the armpit. Now I'm going to make back panels as well in the pink and the yellow, except I'm not going to create a V. I'm just going to start increasing so they can join closer in the middle. And then I'll have my bodice done and I will start adding the sleeves, the skirt. Now, obviously I'm not following this exactly. I'm sort of tailoring it a little bit to my own body, my own taste. So my plan is to have a little bit more of a waist and to have a flowier skirt. Those are basically my two slight tweaks that I think I'm going to like for myself. I'm using Aunt Lydia's Fashion 3 crochet thread in the colors Maize, Warm Rose, and Warm Teal. I think this is a really good Sally color palette. I could have used different yarns to lean into the mismatched look. However, you know, it's October 11th. I don't have much time. I think I needed a little bit of cohesiveness there, so I'm not dealing with like different yarn weights or anything. So anyways, why don't you come with me on this crochet adventure? All right, so just to show you what I've already done here, I'm starting it off sort of like a tank top. You can see here that these are like the straps, if you will, and I didn't increase, then I started to increase, creating this deep V-neck and also increasing underneath the armpits. So then I stopped increasing anywhere and made rectangles at the bottom and joined them with this little stitch, which I will show you a little bit later. All right, now I flipped the garment around. So now I'm going to start increasing from this side here, moving into the middle of the back. I'm going to keep this completely symmetrical on both sides in the armpit, but otherwise I'm going to keep increasing until I reach that point in the middle, and just so it doesn't have as deep of a V-neck as that. All right, I'm going to join my yarn in between these stitches, actually. Work across this row. It looks like there are 3 stitches at the end of the row, and well, that's kind of because there are. One because we're starting at the left of each stitch, and so we have 2 that are counting for the last stitch, if that makes sense. So basically, it's only adding 1 stitch to the end of the row on that side. Now I'm going to increase right away on my second row. And when I reach the end of this row, I am going to keep it straight, no increases, and we're going to make it exactly symmetrical to the other side. Alrighty guys, so now I'm going to take this and work on it whenever I can on my breaks at work and bed. I can't necessarily bring you guys along, but I will come back with my finished panel and I will show you guys how I'm joining it together. Alright, so my back pink panel is completed and this is the armhole, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to join up the seams here. So I'm going to take my black thread. I don't think I mentioned it before, but I have been using a 5mm hook for this project, which is a little bit insane on this thread, but basically I just needed to make some time. So I've been using this big chunky guy for this tiny thread, but for sewing it up, I'm going to size down a little bit to this 3.75mm hook. Alrighty, so I'm not sure if there's an official name for this joining stitch. If there is, let me know. but it's a very common way to connect granny squares. So basically, I'm gonna disconnect this hook here. All right, so I'm going to dip into on the other side of one of these, pull up my yarn and do a little slip stitch. So basically you're gonna be zigzagging slip stitches. So bottom row meets bottom row. And I'm gonna work my way up here. I don't want the tension to be super tight or anything, so I'm just keeping it fairly loose. Okay, second row. All right, so I'm only going up to where my increases end. So that's what this stitch marker was marking for me. I'm gonna take this out and I'm gonna end it here. To give it just a little bit extra security on this kind of a join. So this is my completed armhole. All right, so let's do a little bit of a try on to see if things are going my way. Now this might mortify you, but I am not a big swatch gauge person. So I really only make things for myself. If I'm gonna gift someone anything, it's gonna be something like a scarf or a hat that's pretty universal. So you can see here's the front of the bodice. Everything's looking good here. And then this is gonna join somewhere in the middle of my back. Now I did make this a tiny bit on the short side just because I know that the skirt is going to pull these stitches down a little bit. So I'm estimating about 2-3 inches maybe of pull. But I do think it is working out for me. So now I'm going to make a yellow panel that is exactly the same as this back pink panel. And everything will be done on the bodice and we'll get working on the sleeves. I should also probably take a moment to say that I'm not entirely sure if this will be helpful to you. I just thought I would like to show my own process of how I make something that is in my head that I would like to make and kind of show you my process of how I would go about making something for myself. All right, here's my finished product. So it fits nice, it's a tank top right now. I'm gonna start adding the sleeves and my plan is to do like one of those crochet Afghan zigzag kind of shapes on the sleeves to create that sort of torn off effect that they have. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna experiment, but otherwise this turned out fine. The fit is good and we're on track. Also, we just got tickets to go see The Nightmare Before Christmas at the Hollywood Bowl with Danny Elfman next weekend. So I might want to wear this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to be too much, but that would be kind of fun to be able to finish my project in time for that. By the way, this is my Zero Pootie. Say hello to the camera, Pootie. Pootie, do you have anything to say? So a couple of things I wanted to show you. This is a crocheted headband I made out of Knitting for Olive compatible cashmere. It's in the color Wild Berries. My lighting isn't that great. I still need to figure out a better way to get some overhead lighting done. So the color looks completely wrong here, but this uses exactly one ball, which I think is pretty good, pretty economical. And so if you just wanted to try it out, I think that something like this would be a good little project. The other thing I wanted to show you is that I was fortunate enough to make a couple of purchases. This is from a brand called Incomparable Buttons, and I got it through Webster's Yarn Shop in Ashland, Oregon. They have a great online shop if you are unable to make it to that area. If you are able to, I really encourage popping in because it's such a great store. Anyways, this is going to be for a sort of half knit, half crochet project I'm working on, which I might show you later. And the other thing is this gorgeous handmade yarn bowl, which I got from an artist on Etsy named Carl Smiley, and it's got a little sheep, and it's surprisingly heavy. And all my years of crocheting, I've never had a yarn bowl, so this has been very nice to just pop my yarn in and I can tug at it all I want and not have to worry about it flopping all over the place and falling on the floor. All right, so we're gonna work on these sleeves together in real time, which I'm not sure if that's a mistake. You might see me fumble a little bit. All right, let's try it out in my nifty yarn bowl here. It's kind of an odd shape for a yarn bowl, but I do think it works. All right. So I've decided to go in with the teal color first, just so we can see the whole palette coming together. And I'm going to work starting from, oh my goodness. All right, so I'm gonna start this from underneath the arm. So what I think I'm gonna do, okay, let's start with this as a base. So I'm doing 3 double crochet into 1 post, chaining 2, 3 more, and then I'm skipping a post and doing a single crochet. So I think that's how I'm going to start it. I think that's, oh my God. I think that's how I'm going to start attaching it into the body. So that's my little cheat to get into a little space here. I'm gonna do the exact same thing that I did. You can think of this as like a granny square corner that keeps increasing at the same place. All right, now for our little valley. I could do this. That might just be what I do. keeping my tension super loose, just so it's not, you know, pulling things into itself with all of these increases and decreases. Keep that quite loose as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this sleeve and probably go ahead and do the yellow sleeve on the other side, and then we'll have the full top done. Okay, this is the first time I'm trying it on. Bam. Bam. I did both sides of the sleeves, I have my teal side here, my yellow side here. This fit is like exactly where I wanted it to hit me. Now I'm going to just start connecting the skirt directly to it. We're gonna do a bunch of increases because I do want the skirt to like fan out more. I want it a little bit more flowy, and I don't want it as form-fitting as it is on Sally. That was pooty. So I'm gonna do the same thing and add the black stitching in here. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the skirt. Okay, so here's my check-in. Things did not go according to plan. I had originally started attaching, by the way, these are hanging on by stitch markers. This is the next portion of the dress. I went so much further ahead than I expected. But I had originally started attaching the teal with increases, and I just did not like the shape that it was taking. So what I did was I chained to be the total, like, the biggest width that I wanted my skirt to be. Of course, there's gonna be a second half with the black, but like, I made it to where I'm just gonna start from as wide as I want my skirt to be, and then I attached that onto the existing portion of the dress. And I think that for some reason it was laying better. It was more of the shape that I had envisioned. So when you're doing these kinds of patterns where you're just freestyling, sometimes you have to do that. It's trial and error. But thankfully I didn't get too far before I realized I didn't like how it was looking. So I've done my teal portion, and underneath that we have the pink and black stripe that's gonna take a bit of a U shape, as well as a yellow patch. And I decided to make my patch just a classic granny square, just as a sort of ode to this being the crochet version of the dress. So things are moving along well. The Hollywood Bowl concert is tomorrow night. There's no way I'm gonna be able to finish it. I've also got work, so that's not gonna happen, which is fine because I'd rather just wear a cute outfit, but I will definitely have this finished by actual Halloween. So let's keep going. Yeah, so I definitely didn't finish in time for my costume to be at the Hollywood Bowl, but that would have been so impractical anyway. And I had the most amazing time. They do this every year, so if you ever are in the LA area during Halloween time, you should definitely try to see if you can make this work. Danny Elfman was just so good. Like, he wrote the music, he wrote the lyrics, he performed the voice, and you just kind of see how everything came together. I can't play the full audio here. I don't want like a copyright strike or anything. I don't know how YouTube works, but I think you could feel the energy through this anyway, and I'll show you a tiny little tidbit here.
That's right! I am the Pumpkin King!
Okay, apologies for the vertical camera angle and the poor audio. I'm at a coffee shop right now. It is the day before Halloween, so I have my work cut out for me, but I do think I will be able to finish in time. Let me show you what I got. I made that black panel the exact same as the teal, and I assembled that, and now I just need some bottom pieces, basically to cover my booty. So I'm making a bunch of like little patchwork pieces to kind of fill in the gaps, and that shouldn't take too much longer. Worst case, I can still work on it tomorrow before my friend's Halloween party starts, and yeah. Here is my delicious oat milk iced latte. I do highly recommend giving oat milk a try if you haven't. This is my patchwork coming along together. So basically I'm just filling in these gaps. Okay guys, I'm on my break at work and I'm about halfway done with the skirt. I've run out about just about every color except for yellow. And so I think what I'm gonna do is do like some kind of diagonal granny square situation just to like make the most of my time. It is the night before Halloween, so I don't have that much time. Okay, so it's time for the grand reveal. I actually kept working until just a couple of hours before we had to leave to go to the party, and so I was scrambling by the end of it, and I was also kind of done. You know, this was such a long project. It was slightly monotonous because I was just using the same yarn all the time, and you know, Aunt Lydia's is good for like certain crochet projects, but it's not like what I prefer to make everything out of. So I was kind of ready to bring out some of my other whips, but I had to do what I had to do. And so I finished it, and I'll show you how I did that. All right, so this is how the back ended up turning out. And you can see those little granny square things that I was talking about, and that took up maybe 1/3 of the rest of the back. So I was so short on time. I literally took this like placemat thingy that I made with scrap yarn and I put it on there, and I kind of like it. All right, so here's my finished product. I was quite happy with it. I didn't end up weaving in the ends on the bottom just because I had literally no time. I had to do my makeup, like I had to run to Target to get these tights and all of this, so I just was like, you know what, it makes it look a little bit more tattered, fine. Then my boyfriend, Alex, here he is as Jack Skellington, of course. This is like one of the premium Spirit Halloween costumes. Here's a closer shot of that extra granny square that I added in that didn't match with anything. And so I ended up continuing both sides of it along the flat edge of the black and the teal panel. And it kind of gave it like a bunched or gathered effect. And I thought it worked out pretty well. Thank you very much for watching, and I plan to post some more crochet content. I want to interact with the fiber arts community, so I decided to make this because I crochet so much, and I'm even getting into knitting recently, so I just kind of want to, I don't know, catalog my projects, let's say. So if you stuck around this far, thank you very much, and please subscribe. And also check out my Ravelry. I'm a bit late to the Ravelry game, but I'm posting like my projects and patterns and stuff like that. So anyways, thank you for watching. See you on the next one.